Hello, those of you who are joining. Hello, Judd. Let's see if everything is successful on the Twitch end. Probably not. Hello, people who are joining. Hello, Rice King. Eddie came in. What is the song? It's Pharma Creep from Cruelty Squad. Also, congrats on P-ranking all of Act 2. Oh, my back. Verify that Twitch is properly linked. I'm trying to... Twitch isn't working again. I'm just browsing my options again to see if I can try anything while the stream is starting. I think I've unlinked and relinked it. So, actually wait here, maybe this is gonna work. Checking Twitch. Still having the issue. Jesus, man. This sucks. Pharmacokinetics. Yeah, the song is Pharmacokinetics. Mr. Incredible. It sounds so evil. Pharmacokinetics, not pharmacokinesis, you fools. Just around in the sandbox, find a stupid way to use coins. Yeah, that's pretty much every ULTRAKILL player. Is it boosted? Okay. Is it better? Is my mic all better? I just unplugged and replugged it in. Good. Kill bug is fire? Yes it. Oh my god, Clop. Son. Son. Thank you so much for donating yet again. Also, Jude, the emoji. Let me see real quick. Here. Hi, I'm streaming. For the record. My brother's here. It's back to being boosted? Is it really? Hold on. Destroy my brother? My brother didn't do anything wrong, not yet. Not today, not yet. I will do it if you can't, go for it. But you didn't hear that from me. I'm comfortable with the boosted voice. Let me see what I sound like, hold on. I don't sound super boosted. But I turned my mic down just in case. Just a little bit. Well, here, let me try one more thing to see if I can get streaming on Twitch, and if not, then oh, screw it. I'll just continue the stream as is. I don't even have the Atom desktop app. Stream key is correct. Platform configuration mismatch. Verify the Twitch is properly linked to the Atom web dashboard. Okay, I did that already. It's there. Codec incompatibility. Switching from NVEC, HVEC, or AV1 back to I don't know what the frick this means. In the Atom plugin settings. Let me see. Here. Let's see if this works. Hi, William. William is on my Twitch stream. I guess it didn't work automatically. I'll unstream and restream real quick. God, I love Twitch. Twitch is awesome. Can I get a hoopla for Twitch? I'm gonna make a CG vid, but every time I die, my PSX rate goes down. I'm so sorry that you would want to put yourself through that. Oh, this is awkward timing. I promised a friend to play Vintage Story in about 30 minutes. All right, that means I have you for 30 minutes. That means I have you for 30 minutes. There is a Twitch. There's trying to be a Twitch. There's supposed to be one, but it's not working. It's dumb. Alright, I think the Twitch might do something now. One of the online suggestions that I checked says that it might. I don't know. It says I'm streaming. I don't see that I am. Well, whatever. If it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. It's gonna record it anyway and post it on Twitch. Alright. time, everyone. It is time to play bingo. Yeah, I mean, all of you are pretty much here, so collect your card. We will be assuming bingo position in just a minute. Wait a second. I think... Oh, okay, wait, hold on. I need to check something real quick. This overlay does not exist? Son. Oops, 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 what? Monkey in chat. Hold on. Oh, whatever, I'll just disable the Twitch chat for now. I'm gonna get it working eventually. Maybe towards the end of the stream I'll try to finagle with it a little bit, but for now I think I'm just gonna close it. And if it ends up working for some reason now over never, I'll turn it back on, I guess. All right. So here we are. Dathy, I think you're the one who said you have to go in 30 minutes, so we're gonna do you first. To be fair, it is a monkey. It has a tail. Technical issue ape, is that... Man, shut up. You're not fine for me on Twitch? Yeah, I know, I don't know, man. It's just stupid. Maybe I'll try to go offline then online one more time. Alright, let's see if that did anything at all. And then I will be moving on. Alright, datum's going up first. Make sure whoever's playing bingo that you go get your card. Video download was canceled. Great! It just straight up isn't working at all, actually. Just not even the slightest. Maybe I should stream from Twitch and then put that over to YouTube. An idea. An idea for sure. Alright, let me pull up the chat and then we'll just get started. Make sure everyone you get your cards from the Discord. I mean, it's giving me the live notice, but I can't see anything. Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that. It's doing the same for me. Tried a bunch of solutions. I think I'm just straight up gonna have to, like, at some point stream from Twitch and then make YouTube the secondary thing. I don't know. But yeah, get your cards, everyone who's gonna be playing. I have my card ready, I believe. No, this is just the one from yesterday, I think, actually. Get to new one. Okay, here's my new card. J7B. Gonna preemptively click the miss splash option. Let me get my card. Yeah, everyone get your cards. Cybergrind bingo time. It's time to get serious. It's a Saturday. I'm surprised this stream isn't popping off yet. You know what? Ah, never mind. I already warmed up. I had some bad games today. I'm gonna do one wave. One low density wave. Come on, give it to me. Day. That's my wave. All right. Let's see what should I call you? Day Night or Dathy? Got my gameplay right before my video. Or God gameplay right before my video. Sorry. Alright. This one being a new PB, sick. Alright. So Dathy says, just a random recording of my Cybergrind attempts, with this one being a new PB. Awesome. Number of hours in ULTRAKILL, roughly 300. No microphone, no mods. Good to know. No, it's fine. Y'all will forget me anyways, son. It's an old channel to post archive gameplay. Nothing special is there. Okay, well, you know, if you want to just, you know, binge some gameplay slop, you can go to Dathy's YouTube channel. Are you a Jackhammer Acolyte? I use it to go airborne, and that's it, lol. Okay. The song that plays is Left Alone, Charity, Calamity Song. Do you know if these songs are copyright? Did you use the copyright checker? I understand this somehow. What do you understand? No idea, couldn't find it. It shouldn't be? Oh yeah, Jude, you played the Calamity mod, right? It's not copyright? Yeah. This shouldn't be copyright. This goes from wave 15 to 38. I do not have the brain cells for crazy FOV, and it'd be cool if I can get tips on how to handle insurrectionists in the middle of combat. Tend to be my biggest ops. Okay. Awesome. Alright, let's just get Wicked started then. Alright, interesting. Okay, so off rip, I'm noticing it's sort of, I don't know, would I say this is like an, okay, wait, hold on. You have, okay, so the order of your weapons is the blue saw, and then you have the red nail, and then you have the green saw. In that order? It's a bit bizarre, don't you think? Good morning, Brocco. Good morning, Roke. I will say your loadout, and unless, I don't know, I'd like you to explain to me at least like what the thought process is, because traditionally most people like run this or like this. These are like the current like common loadouts, especially because like, you know, the jumpstart can proc, you know, your overheat, or you can throw the jumpstart early and then set up your nails for your overheat, and then like, you know, stuff like that. But these two usually go next to each other. Traditionally at least. So off rip, I would say, I would suggest doing this. Does that make sense? Something I haven't put much thought into, to be honest. Yeah, I would say, I would suggest this. Or this. One of those two generally works. I know you're running the overheat saw blade, that's fine. Especially for this level of the game.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. I will say, your aim is very, your aim isn't very slow. Your sensitivity seems very slow. That's one thing I'm also noticing. Okay, I'm gonna say that was a missed dunk. You do know like the quick dunk, right? Cannonball dunk. Field cannonball dunk. If you guys have that, mark that down. Don't think I do. Say 3 times if you're trapped. do that as a throw. Yeah, that's fine. It's also not always mandatory to do a dunk. So far, every time you've pulled out... Okay, nice, you got the one shot. Every time, yeah, so you do know how to dunk, obviously. Every time you've pulled out the shotgun, you seem to have not really... You seem to not really know what to do with it. Oh my god. Scaring me. Screwdriver for the mind flare, okay. Okay, yeah, so where's your you seem to only have like pull out one shotgun is what I'm noticing. What's your shotgun loadout for this? Like jackhammer to shotgun ratio? Blue and green or shotgun? Okay. I'm assuming blue is in the last slot. Well, hey, you know, people who are playing bingo, that does mark CE shotgun. So mark that down if you have it. Yep, that's CE shotgun right there. That's row cam without dependencies, but it didn't really matter because... Actually, it does matter. Okay, there's still a lot of enemies left. So that's going to be rail cannon without dependencies. I generally wouldn't advise it. It isn't like... Hold on, let me quickly mark this down. Rail cannon without dependencies. If you have that, mark that down. Yeah. So my problem with using the CE shotgun is that it's the shotgun with like the least tech and like strength. At least over its alternate version. I would definitely suggest using the core eject jackhammer. And you seem to like only use like here. Right? You seem to not even use this weapon at all. But when you do pull out the shotgun, it's just like that, right? You're just doing projectile boosts, which I would recommend spamming more often. I don't know if you're very comfortable with like shotgun swapping, but you should definitely get used to shotgun swapping if shotgun is going to be in your first slot, because you know you can also get a lot of melee damage and get melee parries that way. Mainly use shotgun for parries, especially for Maurice. Okay. First shotgun's weak, but we have it on the card to ratio handy, but yeah, we do. But yeah, I would definitely suggest instead of using this, because there's very little tech as far as like the core eject shotgun. Like, you know, core snipes are good, I guess, maybe. Hardly. But you know, you also have... Where is it? Yeah. You know, your regular hammer boosts. Very strong, basically the same value as a core snipe, in essence. It's a lot stronger. You can deal it from any range. It's a hit scan. You seem to favor your hit scans over using your jackhammer or your shotguns. So this is genuinely, I would suggest like using this. You probably have the sawed on in your second slot just purely out of like heal factor. I'm not going to judge too early a lot of these things. I'm just kind of giving you some advice, but I will continue to watch. Yeah, because you seem to use the slab revolvers a lot. Because like here, it's definitely a lot better to use a shotgun. I don't know if you know this, but Swords Machine actually has a... they take more damage from shotguns than other enemies. So shotguns are definitely very good against Swords Machine. And I think that what's it called? Swords Machines are very good like aim training for the shotgun. You definitely want to just straight up like barrel stuff this guy with the shotgun. Yeah. They do like 150%. No, they do like 50% more damage against Swords Machines. Core snipes deal more damage on a bigger range than just a normal rocket. Kinda. I mean, they deal more damage. I don't think the radius is that much bigger. But again, you also have to charge for distance if you want to, use it at all for just 7 damage, and then it takes also 0.9 seconds to do that damage in the first place. It's just not worth it. Yeah, hammer boost deal 7 damage, but the hit scan part does 2 damage, and the explosion does 5 damage. It's not as good as a core snipe, but it is way easier to do than a core snipe. And more efficient, and do it from any range, more consistent. You don't risk your, core getting tossed away from an explosion or anything very much. But yeah, we'll keep watching. So far, my big criticism is, like, if you're running a shotgun, you should definitely have a more shotgun-centric playstyle. Okay, this is a hall/entrance center start. Your PB is, like, wave 38 here, I think, right? I know I'm, like, sort of, like, spitballing all these things at you, just suggestions. But the more you watch my streams, the more you'll realize that I call this specific thing out. You don't need to know this now. You're, like, sort of, like, in the low to mid levels of Cybergrind currently. But basically, you don't want to start this specific map in the center, because, like, enemies can spawn on these ledges up here, and, like, they can be snipers. Lots of Maurices and Guttermen and sentries and Virtues and stuff are going to spawn up here, and they can just pelt you with projectiles and attacks while you're down here. So you don't want to be up here at all, or in the middle at all. You want to be playing in that little corridor like you were just then, or on the edges. You don't seem very comfortable with rocket riding. At least I haven't seen you do it yet, because you're playing mostly on the map. But we'll get there when we get there. That is going to be hall entrance start, by the way. Entrance/hall. So if you have entrance/hall start, mark that down. Damn, I don't. Sucks. You've learned that the hard way? Yeah, and it's the same rule in another place called, what's it called? Oof. Another map called Hall. Here it's not so bad to be in the middle. Ooh, nice. What did you just hit? Oh, you just pulled your own rocket. Well, that's a rocket pull fail. If you have rocket pull fail, make sure you mark that down. Awesome. Okay, so you do know the whip ride. What difficulty is this again? Yeah, this is brutal. Yeah, I did the real kind of dependencies. What counts as floor dweller? Just being on the floor a lot. I'm kind of paying attention to it to the best of my ability, but I don't think I've ever noticed that reviewing my own footage. Yeah, brutal. You're not very aggressive. That's something that should definitely change. You should definitely be more aggressive. Oof, yeah, you don't want to get caught in a corner against a Maurice. So one thing that you should know about Maurice, oops. So Maurice's beam doesn't actually deal damage to you, itself. So let me just spawn one in here. Doesn't deal any damage, right? But it will deal damage if you're up against a wall. Right? The explosion is what actually caused it, the impact. So that's one thing. You definitely don't want to put yourself in a corner like that against a Maurice that's charging its beam, like you did right here. This is basically the one way you can die. Like, you missed the whiplash quite a few times. I think, yeah, it's missed his whiplash twice in a row. So we're gonna mark that down. Mrs. Whiplash twice in a row. Alright. But big issue with fighting Maurices, you don't want to be caught in a corner against them. You want to be above them almost all times. So that is a huge suggestion. I wish I knew where to start with aggression. My biggest issue is not knowing how to engage in the heat of combat without getting myself killed in the process. Yeah, that'll come with aim. I think, honestly, you don't seem to have... At least with your sensitivity, I don't think you feel very comfortable with your sensitivity. You need to be able to, you know, flick. Just be able to, like, just go to your target, you know what I mean? Like, look at your target consistently. Because the weapons are, the enemies are very big, you don't really have to aim super much. It's just a matter of actually being able to recognize where you are and looking at your target. You might actually benefit from having a higher FOV. That's how I benefit from having a higher FOV, is being able to see more targets lets me adjust to where I'm supposed to be looking. A lot easier. Huh. And you're not using your jackhammers nearly enough. You gotta remember that the jackhammer is basically just 10 damage sitting in your pocket. Oh my gosh. Stressing me out, man. Yeah, I would say that, like, with your aim and, like, you know, I would say, like, with your, forgot about the whole FOV thing, that's kind of like a minor thing. But I think the number two things that are getting you stuck here is, number one, the lack of knowledge and practice with tech. You panicked a lot, that's fair. But number one, your lack of, like, game knowledge and tech is definitely hindering you a lot here. And then the other thing is, your aim is a little bit, like, patient. It's a little too patient. So I would definitely suggest just learning a bunch of tech, first of all. I mean, I have a lot of videos for that stuff, and they're kind of fast moving, so, you know, I don't blame you if you feel a bit opposed to watching them, but you definitely should at least, you know, P-boost a lot. Another thing, when it comes to movement, I'm trying to figure out, like, the most basic stuff that's easiest to learn and easiest to practice. Movement is really important in the Cybergrind. So, like, you know, slide jumping is really good for distance. You can do this a lot. It lets you chain into a lot of attacks. Very good for the jackhammer. Lets you get away from engagements without spending stamina. You can spend stamina, right? There's no problem with that. But when you don't have stamina to spend, or you want to preserve your stamina, it's a lot better to be slide jumping. Yes, I'm sure you're so right. Wait, are you WhatsApp V1? Everyone keeps saying that. Yes, I'm WhatsApp. I'm Broccolite V1. Come on. See what I mean, though? The more you can move around, the more you can be patient You're not getting attacked as much, and you know, you can spend your stamina more wisely, because you probably know this, but like your stamina gives you invincibility whenever you dash. Yeah, it looks higher because of the FOV. Your FOV is probably default. You don't have the mod I do, but this is a lot more like what your gameplay would look like. What's your FOV mod? It's just called FOV changer. Just lets you. I can go to 180 FOV if I want. It's no one should play at this FOV. It makes no sense, but you know, you can if you want. 170 isn't so bad though. Like, look at how far I can hit this jackhammer hit. Hold on. It looks like the Maurice is millions of miles away. Alright, no to play. Yeah. I'm actually just curious. Yeah, it's still bonkers. Anyway, yeah, we're not here to discuss FOV super much. But, yeah, basic tech. Back to basic tech. If you're running one jackhammer and you like to have a more shotgun-centric focus, you know, you can kill some fodder with a shotgun or do whatever you want, but then never be afraid to just hit red gauge on the jackhammer following up immediately, because when in a game specifically about cooldowns, you want to be spending your cooldowns a lot, right? And like the jackhammer is a really big, beefy cooldown. And like, you know, let's say we're fighting the Cerberus. Right, and then I could just switch to the jackhammer. Just, you know, put that on a cooldown for 7 seconds, then focus on whatever saw combo I wanted to do, right? Because you tend to like doing saw traps and stuff. So, the point being, you should definitely focus on spending more cooldowns, because more cooldowns means more potent attacks, and the more cooldowns you spend, the more you can set them into a clock where you can get into a rhythm of using them more and more. That's like more a macro play. But yeah, I would say for the most part, just like let yourself use cooldowns. Like here with the coins, just spam them out, throw them out, right? When you over rely on one specific kind of weapon, like how you do with the revolvers, I would say, you lose the value you would get from, let's say, using like a cannonball frequently, or like, you know, you haven't really used fire starter oil super much at all. And fire starter oil would be really good. You could use that with your saw traps to get really good value. Now, you don't seem to slam a lot. Okay, yeah, there you just did, but... And you see, you always want to, like, you're always trying to, like, reset your movement. And, like, yeah, there you just spent, like, a bunch of stamina trying to reset your movement in the air. Biggest thing you want to do, biggest tip I can probably give you. Like, if you're up in the air like this and you don't want to be here, slam, right? 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to slam. You can dash to, like, you know, avoid things mid-combat, you're fighting a mind flayer, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, you want to slam, get right back down to the floor. Because that's when you can do slide hops, you know what I mean? That's when you can do most of your attack. You know, you'll be on the ground where most of the enemies are. You can fight, get a lot of blood. It's just the best position you can be in most of the time. Yeah. Nice. I mean, there I would have spent red gauge, considering how little you use the jackhammer. Like, you know, think about how you play and how little you use weapons versus how much you over rely on others. With the jackhammer, if you use it very infrequently, you're going to want a red gauge like pretty much every time you use it. You know what I mean? At least at your current level. And you know, if you end up using the jackhammer more, maybe the yellow gauge becomes more appealing because you don't want to put it on cooldown. But if, you know, you haven't drawn your jackhammer in like 15 seconds or so, you should definitely have used the red gauge on the Mind Flayer and saved yourself the coin and used it on the fodder or the swords machine instead. You know what I mean? Yeah, and here I think you're just getting jumbled up, yeah, with your conduction tools. And that's a matter of just having like a nail or saw combination that's awkward for you. There you missed your screwdriver. So that is going to be Mrs. Screwdriver or Mrs. Rail Cannon. If you have Mrs. Rail Cannon, make sure you mark that down. That was a bit of B rank in the last stream? Okay. That's also sub A rank. Oh, wow. Sub A rank. So if you have that, we'll mark that one down too. Other than that, though, I mean, the way you're handling, like, you know, Mind Flayers and most enemies, you're giving the Mind Flayers enough space so they don't punch you, and then also playing within the mid-range to deal good damage, so, you know, you're not doing bad in the matchup department. It's just a matter of, like, weapon proficiency. Oh, wow. Oh, dear. I know you are trying to use the fire shredder, albeit you're using it pretty well. That's definitely how you should be using it. Yeah, like right there. I'm gonna have to give you Floor Dweller, unfortunately. A lot of enemies can be avoided by just not, like, at all going within melee range of them. If you have Floor Dweller, make sure you mark that down. But yeah, a lot of enemies straight up, just like, a lot of them are melee, and like their range attacks are very, like, you know, skimpy. They don't really do much damage, or like they have very bad fall off or slow speed, or they're very parryable. Playing down here with like the swords machine and the Cerberus sets you up for a lot of risk, especially if you're not super comfortable with parrying swords machine. And Cerberus can't be parried except like their projectile. You put yourself in a really dangerous position. Jumped out of reflex in the audio. Yeah, I'm trying to brainstorm some like some like simple, easy tech that you can do frequently. It doesn't just like, because I don't want to just spew stuff at you. I want to give you something that you can tangibly walk away with and improve with. Nice. Oh no, you didn't even hit him. Damn, you hit a different thing. I think that's an off-screen parry right there. No. Yeah, it's an off-screen parry. Off-screen parry, those who have it. I do. Oh wow, I'm almost winning in 2 ways. Yeah, you just hit the Maurice projectile there. Nice, very good conduction there. Oof. Okay, multiple mind flares. Yeah, here definitely you want to hit a red gauge. Yeah, you definitely wanted to hit a red gauge there. You would have gotten more velocity, not fully upwards because her corpse was blocking you, but you know, the goal would have been to try to use her. You would have gotten at least more velocity otherwise. Good conduction. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, there goes the Mind Flare. Thank you, Maurice. This throw cannon 2 waves in a row. Random gas? I won't say so. Oof. Yeah, like right there. You just completely gave up on the Maurice. You do know that Jackhammer is basically one-shot Maurice, right? I don't know if you're beating your PB now or you're about to and you're probably like stressed out of your mind about it. If so, that's fine, but... Yeah, you instead of like giving up on the Maurice like that, you could just pull out, you know, the Jackhammer and just one-shot him. Just get him out of there. Guard break fail? I missed it. Oh yeah, that was a guard break fail. Guard break fail. If you have guard break fail, make sure you mark that down. Oh, this is Hall. Oh, okay. Good, yeah, you definitely don't want to play in the center here. So far, you're not doing it. I just want to see if you're aware if this is pure accident. Oh, making me nervous. Yeah, you're making the right play here. Literally, you are way safer playing in this position than you would be if you were playing in the center. Because they were, what, like 4 Maurices on this level? Yeah, 4. They would have obliterated you if you had stood in the center. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, most people do. Nice. Screwdriver. Yeah, like there, instead of, because like here, you've definitely have an over-reliance on the whiplash, right? Like here, you got him in shooting me, and like, you know, I'm having a hard time grappling onto him. If I just slam and dash towards him, right, that cuts out the entire necessity for that. You know what I mean? So yeah, slam slide is definitely a way better approach option, especially on like those flatter arenas. Did I check ULTRAKILL news? I did see there was another like screenshot Saturday type thing. But yeah, especially against Gutterman, it's very nice. I know that you can't always do that. because, you know, some enemies are on pedestals and stuff, but it does simplify a lot of the gameplay down here at the very least. You know, you can save the whiplash for when you need to go up top, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think, like, again, I'll leave this up to, like, 2 criticisms that I actually have about your gameplay. Oh, geez, it's a Radiant Maurice. Hey, you do not want to screw around with a Radiant Maurice. Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. Under Mace, yeah, he has 30 health, by the way. And that's why the jackhammers are so... When you see this guy, it's jackhammer time. Like, here, let me bust this guy out. They don't have the damage boost. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ouchie, ouchie. No damage boost. And then, boom. Okay. When you see this guy, it is almost always jackhammer time. Because you can basically take him down in 2 hits, right? And you can do that very quickly. It only takes like a second and a half to do so. You can also red gauge him and then just, you know, shoot him with anything else that you want, really. You don't have to do jackhammer stuff, but considering how little you use the jackhammer and how prevalent these guys are in later Cybergrind, literally just red gauge. And since you're using the chainsaw as well, right? Okay, well, don't do what I just did. You're supposed to knuckle blaster first, but yeah, like that. Get some extra damage in there. I also did it wrong there too. There you go. That's what I was trying to do. You know, toss the chainsaw in there, do some jackhammer stuff, and you can get rid of those guys pretty easily. So basic advice is jackhammer more, but waves 20, 32, 33. Okay, we'll go back and check that. You say I don't have to, but you make a very good endorsement. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. And I will also say, if you want to use the jackhammer more often, easy way to kill these guys in one shot with a yellow gauge, so you don't just put it on cooldown, is just knuckle blaster plus yellow gauge. Always kills these guys in one shot. Very useful. Should definitely do that a lot. What else? Okay, yeah. One other thing, just like some small techie things. You like using the malicious rail cannon, it seems. You use all 3 rail cannons fairly, like, evenly. If you like using the malicious rail cannon, you definitely, and I'll say this for the E-rail first, actually. You want to have some nails on the target that you're E-railing first, because that'll just deal bonus damage. It deals 2 damage to that enemy, and then it deals the 2 damage to all enemies around them. It's just really good. And then when it comes to the malicious rail cannon, instead of just firing it raw, you want to try to hit it core. Okay, well, don't do what I just did. Right? So, you know, if you want to use the core deck shotgun, so be it. But, I suck with this thing. This is how you know I don't do core nukes. But, yeah, the goal is try to use it on stuff, and you can use it on a rocket too if you want. It does a lot of damage. Does more damage than normal. You can hit your core, wish the Mal rail to do just a lot of really good damage in an area, larger area than, you know, with just a core. So whenever you're using the rail cannon, try to do that. So I would suggest using the CE shotgun a little bit more. You don't seem to use the pump at all with the pump charge jackhammer. I mean the pump charge shotgun. But here's another suggestion, like tech wise. Here. When you overpump with the pump charge shotgun, you can dash through the explosion to not take any of the damage at all. So if you just dash, right, during this dash, you have 0.2 seconds of damage immunity. All you have to do is just shoot during the dash, during the immunity, right? And as long as you just keep moving, you know, unlike I just did, you will not take any damage at all. And that's 10 damage. Do that for a lot of stuff. And then as far as movement goes, definitely slam jumping. Literally just hop in the sandbox and do this a lot. Like, get into the rhythm of pressing control and space a lot. Gives you a lot of movement. It gives you more options than just pressing dash. And yeah. If you feel like you're floating too much in the air, like you're up here and you're up against mind flayers or whatever, you know, you can dash if you want, but more times than not, it would be better if you just slammed to the floor. I know that just came out like a bunch of vomit, but I hope you understood most of the stuff that I was trying to say. I usually regret using it because of 50-50 if I damage myself. Yeah, and that's stuff that'll just come with practice. Yeah, that's something to get used to. Yeah, and then I think the final suggestion that we covered in the very beginning, try to make a more conventional nail gun like rotation. You know, like either blue nail gun first or jumpstart first, and then have these two one before the other always. So like blue before green. Always have blue before green. Doesn't matter where red is. Blue before green. Always needs to happen. That's the rule. Definitely worth making my friend wait 10 minutes. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, you go hang out and play whatever game you're going to play with your friend. I hope this helped. You could obviously watch the VOD over again if you want my advice another time. And yeah, watch my videos too if you're interested in like tech. Yes, the bingo has started, but hold on. We did say there was another thing here. What was it, Equinox? I forget which one Equinox called out that happened. I think forgets to use row cannon 2x in a row. Yeah, baby steps. And, you know, do things one at a time. You know what I mean? You don't have to learn all the things I'm saying at once. Just pick whatever thing you think is going to be the most fun to do first or most interesting. Lead with that. Okay? That's all. That's all my advice for you. Yeah, Mrs. Rail Cannon 2X is done. So if you have that in your card, make sure you mark that down. But yeah. This is my video. Idjit me. Alright. Is Ender Rider in the house? Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope it does too. I hope you enjoy your game. Oh, yep, there it is. Yeah, I just pinged it myself. Alright, we'll review this one. Because he asked nicely. What else has been called? I'll throw it up just now. CE Shotgun, surprisingly, got called. Entrance Hall Center Start. Failed Cannonball Dunk. Floor Dweller, forget to use Rail Cannon. Guard Break Fail. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it like this for now. This is pretty much all the vital stuff. In a row so far? I've got 2 4 in a rows, and honestly, Mind Flayer home run fail is not going to happen. So. Yeah, I'm not going to do very many reviews, but because I'm a little bit tired right now. But, you know, I'm trying to knock out some while I'm here. Let me move this. Where is it? Put that right there, I don't even care. Alright. It is true what I say, by the way. If you donate more than $1, you can join a priority review list if you want your Cybergrind gameplay reviewed. And basically that just means that the first person I review every stream will be someone from that list. Everyone else that I review during that stream can be anyone, you know what I mean? So if multiple people donate and they're on the list, I'm not going to just do everyone from the list. I'm just going to be doing one person from the list per stream. So if you want to join that list, if you donate at least $1, anything helps, seriously. A lot of people have been suggesting that I do something like this donation-wise, because people apparently want to support the content I make, and, you know, this is me adjusting for that. So if we're all ready and we all have our bingo cards, we can resume. Oh, my back. I do also need to make a short, or at least I'd like to. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, we have off-screen parry and rocket pull fail, by the way. And Rocam without dependencies. Here, did I show you that? Yeah. Hello, Autumn or whatnot. We are reviewing Cybergrind gameplay. We're going to be reviewing Ender Rider, someone who I really like from my Discord. Awesome. Okay, they're going to watch it afterwards. All right, let's see what Ender Rider has to say. Nothing much to say, just a normal run with my newer strategies. I'd like to use my rail cannon charges more and better, and also figure out a way to get more use out of Neuron Activator. Advice on Death Stars and double Death Stars would be nice too, along with anything else you see that I could be doing better. 201 hours, an ULTRAKILL, awesome, no mic, visual info mods only, don't care if I'm anonymous, triple jack, go burr. Okay, we have a triple jackhammer god, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead. Get right started. Oh geez, okay. Starting in the corner like that is definitely brave. Nice with the charge back. Nice. Look at that. That was a complete Death Star. So far, nothing inherently wrong. Oh, okay, accidental nuke. Alright, so I think already, I will say, there is a method I have found, because it seems like your frames are pretty low. If your frames are low, the saws will spin in a very weird way, so that this is how I'm coming to this conclusion. Yeah, you'll see that they will start to spin in like a more polygonal shape as opposed to a spherical shape, or a circular shape rather. So I'm supposing that your frame rate is low, and the fact about doing double hammer boosts is that it is frame rate dependent. Okay, what the hell? Come on. Wow, I'm this bad at it because of my frames. Yeah. It is frame rate dependent because it depends on you being able to hit your core. And oftentimes you will just explode yourself. God, I can't look at this any longer. But to avoid doing an accidental nuke on yourself, one thing that I have found is helpful is just straight up, when you hit your rocket with your hammer during a double hammer boost, if you jump off of the rocket during the hit stop of the rocket. So basically, hitting the rocket, putting you into this hit stop where the game stops completely. If you jump after after hitting the rocket, you will more often than not complete the double Death Star. You'll see me gain a little bit of vertical height without accidentally blowing yourself up. Very consistent way to do the tech. So yeah, definitely suggest doing that. What's that? Sounds familiar. What if you do Cybergrind when bingos too? That's actually not a bad idea. That'd be fun. Also, just trying to coin punch with the Knuckle Blaster fall under the caught trying to parry with the Knuckle Blaster? Yeah, I'd say so. I would say it does. It's basically, you know, punching. Attempt to go for the clip. Yeah, you got it. But so far, nothing inherently wrong with the gameplay. Okay, well, when you're trying to Death Star, it's better to select a target rather than just throw it out randomly. Okay, whip slams, I like it. Whip slam jackhammer combos. Beautiful. We have a real jackhammer enthusiast here. Decent saw traps. Ah, that's a failed chargeback. If you have chargeback fail, make sure you mark that on your sheet. I do have that. Oh, I also have forgets to use Rokin. Wow, this is how freaking close I am. I'm this close, and this close. Damn. Hate my stupid life. Can I send force red runs too? I'm not gonna do force red runs. Wasn't there a draws weapon does nothing? Let's see. But with the... Yeah, that does count. That is draws weapon does nothing. I don't have it. Well, yeah. Long distance whiplash. Well, like here? I would say no because it was broken up by the punch. Sad chargeback fails. Oh. Oh, wow. That is very unorthodox one shot. Oof, yeah, you missed the insert. Okay, so when it comes to Death Stars, you definitely want to pick a target off rip. It's like when you hear the sound of the insert spawning, you target the insert, you know what I mean? You don't care about killing the fodder at this point. You have high style, you don't need the style from getting a multi-kill or anything like that, or fried or exploded. You want to hit this insert as much as you can. Yeah, I would say that's an enemy priority issue right there. Especially when you set up such a strong combo like that. You definitely want to make sure it gets its value. Enemy priority issue, there it is. Do I have that? I do. Bingo? Is there a point of red hitting idols? It's just the backblast. Like if you just want more distance in the backblast, then yeah, you can. But you don't go on cooldown from red hitting an idol with your jackhammer. Yeah. Show the bingo card. No, it was never marked. Enemy priority issue, CE shotgun, yep. Forgot to use row cannon and recommended dependencies. Alright, awesome. We have a bingo winner. Equinox. Have I already? I've already awarded you the win. Alright, don't clear your card. We're gonna keep playing just because Equinox is already a winner. Now you can go for Blackout, yeah. What is this? We're basically reviewing Cybergrind gameplay. Me personally, I'm top 50 in the world in Cybergrind, the brutal Cybergrind, so I'm just watching, reviewing gameplay, and giving criticisms. Sent in through my Discord. So these people have volunteered to send in gameplay, and I am reviewing it. Blackout rules? Literally just as long as your card has everything in this blackout column, you win. That's it. My highest wave is 164. I can show you right now. Yeah, oops is 105. Yeah, there it is. 164. Yeah, usually if a new person wins, all cards are invalid for basic bingo until the next round starts. Yeah, but for now, since you're already a winner, we're just gonna play this out. Did I say 105? 205, sorry. Alright, but we're gonna keep playing so that we can get a fresh new winner. Base wave count, yeah. Alright, let's keep watching. Alright, Maurice is definitely a rough target, especially when you have magnets underneath him. When you're trying to do neuron activator. Oh god, I haven't heard that Discord ping sound in so long. Is that a guard break fill? It was. That was a guard break fill. Did we already have that? We do already have that. Okay. Delicious screwdriver. There was an instant corkscrew blow. Yeah, I'm gonna give instant corkscrew blow for that. You definitely when you're intending to use a screwdriver in a situation like that, you want to use it more for style and not for damage. So I'm gonna give instant corkscrew blow there. And yeah, here the weakness of the Death Star. Unfortunately, when you okay, nice job, Insurrectionist. Oh, that's. Street Cleaner deflects rocket / core. I don't have it. Also, wait, did we see a jumpstart cord get disconnected here? No, he died. Okay, cool. I'm glad that every moment that I've skipped through so far has given us a jackhammer head stop. Alright, that right there was definitely a long distance whiplash. You basically went across the entire map for Maurice. I'm going to give you long distance whiplash on that. If you're going to approach a Maurice like that, granted it isn't, you know, super far into the wave, but you are sitting at 50 health. You're going to want to do some whip hops, right? And I'm not sure if you know what a whip hop is. Hold on. I'll just hop into a run here. A whip hop is basically jumping. Why am I using this weapon? Using the whiplash and jumping. So, goddamn, well, that was embarrassing. I didn't have the jackhammer to help myself out there, but yeah. But whip hopping is definitely how you avoid taking all that hard damage and getting into a situation like this where you're taking a huge risk. We already have chargeback fail. Cloth, wait, Cloth has a bingo? Show me the bingo. Also, we already have off-screen parry ooped. Mrs. Rune, long distance flash. Yep, that's there. Yeah, you've had a bingo this whole time. Yeah, and since Clough is also a winner, you will get the bingo winner roll. Everyone clap it up for Oopt. We have a winner, and technically you won before Cloth, but you know. Yeah, everyone get a new card. I was so close to winning like 4 different times. Like, look at this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so lame. All right, new card. For those of you who are just joining the stream and would like to participate in Cybergrind Bingo, if you join, you can go for a blackout. First gen bingo was significantly harder. Yes, it was. That is a rare roll. But yeah, if you join through the Discord, through the link in the description, you can get a card in the pinned message of the Cybergrind Bingo channel. And if you want your gameplay reviewed, you can also submit some recordings through the review submission process, as long as you follow the rules. Who has joined since this stream? Oh shit, Pearbrick. I think I know you, Pearbrick. Jackhammer Church, I'm home. Where do we donate? There is should be like a dollar icon on the very bottom. Hi, Pearbrick. A dollar icon on the very bottom. If you click on that, you should be able to, like, by the chat, I think, you should be able to send some money. And then I can put you in the prior list if you're interested. I'm very confused as to why you're about me is that. Well, I can't see it. Yes, Jackhammer. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to give everyone some time to collect their cards. I have to wait 51 while playing Outcome Memories and pausing to play I Have Potential. But I did lose focus, though. That shit was gas. Happens to the best of us. How do you two know each other? Who two? Oh, Pearbrick? I think Pearbrick, I've seen a lot, Pearbrick's comments a lot in my shorts, my YouTube shorts. Balls. Thank you, Oopt. Your dollar bills are very gracious. Alright, I will now add you to the donator list. Here we go. Chlor? Who the fuck is Chlor? Yeah, how I'm doing, like, if you donate multiple times, I'm just gonna, like, add you to the list again, but you will not take multiple priorities over another individual. Actually, as a matter of fact, might as well just, like, hold on. Freshinator got his thing. I don't even care. I'm not even going to change the numbers. But now you're on the list. How do I preview the stream? I'm not sure what that means. What the fuck? Yes, I love this GIF so much. Lethal injection. This GIF is so funny. What do you mean, how do I preview the stream? I'm going to have an issue with Mind Flayer Home Run Fail. Yeah, I'm planning on, like, I'm going to do a 3rd generation of the card, and I'm probably going to take that one out. It's just kind of a silly one. But I am taking suggestions. I'll probably make an announcement on the server that's like, yo, go to Cybergrind Bingo and post some suggestions for, you know, Cybergrind sins. I haven't watched the video about proper electric rail cannon usage. Is my use of it to obliterate waves of swords machines in the midst of fire starter, fire damage, good value? I mean, yeah. You definitely want to include nails into that. Like, if you just hit, like, 3 swords machines with nails, you get, like, you know, 3.5 extra damage on top of the 8 damage pierce that you're getting on a bunch of enemies. So, Yeah, if you include nails, great. Obviously, amazing. A fun fact, Brocco asked me for ideas when he started the bingo. I did, yes. Not firing answers one, yeah. But if you guys have ideas, feel free, if you're in the server, to just go put them right here in this channel. I'll probably go look back at it sometime soon. You might runner up today? Oh yeah, you did ask. Hey. Ooped, by the way, I haven't used anyone's priority today, so if you're interested in using that now, because Cloth hasn't submitted anything, you can. But I did promise Equinox I would do something today, so I'm going to do that first, and then if you have something you want me to review today, I'll do that finally. How's that sound, Ooped? Sure or not, but prepare for lots of blood. Oh god. You're really going to make me sit through that? Alright, where are you, Equinox? Right here? Yeah, here we are. Runner-up PB. We'll finish watching this first, and then... Oops. Yeah, then we'll do this. Prefer to kill peripheral enemies, use a gutterman as a conduction core. Yeah, that's literally the golden road. Sorry. I hate when that happens. Wait, is that... That wasn't core shoots. Technically, the coin didn't hit the core. The revolver did, so I'm not going to count that. Nice. Really good screwdriver value, just ignoring the insert. Completely mogged him. Nice. Nothing inherently wrong with that. I like that. There you go. Finally taking some priority in your hands. Ooh, that's delicious. So, not an entrance slash hall center start. Very nice. Oh, pff. Okay, there you go. Now, a coin did hit the core there. So, we are going to mark that. Where is it? Coin hits core slash rocket. If you have that, make sure you mark that down on your bingo sheet. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I do not. Unfortunate. Oops. Here, I'll open that up later. Do you clear bingo? No, you don't have to. You can play for blackout if you want. Yeah, so all you have to do is win the bingo, and then you can keep your sheet and play for blackout. I really dig this music, by the way. Nice. I really like that you're whip slamming into your hits. Up. That should be an instant kill. Nice. Perfectly timed with the music, too. You get the conduction just in time. Yeah, I would say, since you did ask for me to tell you how best to, like, avoid using your rail cannon incorrectly, so far you're using it in pretty decent ways. But the way that I would best suggest is by, sorry, I'm locked in here. Did that gutter tank just punch him? I was not paying attention. But yeah, the way I would suggest earlier, like from earlier, which you kind of adjusted to during this run, is making sure you leave the screwdriver inside your target as long as possible. Oh, That is a Mrs. Rail Cannon right there. Alright, let's see. Mrs. Rail Cannon. If you have that, mark that down on your sheet. I have that. Awesome sauce. I agree, Toughalicious. Ooh, look at that. Oh, you could have done a core jam there. Nice. Son. Was that a... No, that wasn't a chargeback fail, right? Boxer failing sorority parries? Maybe. Write that down. I'll consider it. Oh my god, this song is going fucking crazy. Nice. That screwdriver is so delicious. Yeah, and now you have no more need for it. Being at this high style and having so few enemies to deal with. I would say, yeah, a lot of the things... A lot of the problems I have currently are with your execution, mainly. You're going for some pretty smart things. Yeah, like there again, with your Death Star, I would say focus on a target. That is definitely enemy priority issue right there. You had many targets and you kind of just chose to fling the explosions around instead of focus them. So I will say enemy priority issue again. There it is. If you have enemy priority issue, make sure you mark that down. I have it. Awesome. That 2x fire damage and 1.5 damage from other sources besides. Yeah, always set them on fire. And whenever they're not on fire, you don't even have to be damaging them. As long as you just set them on fire again, you're basically chipping them down a lot. It is always the long con with most insurrectionist fights. But you do have your burst options with like jackhammers and conduction and stuff. Those are really good against insurrectionists. And melee P boosts as well. Ooh, charge back. Nice, okay. This guy watched my video. Oh! That was a double chargeback fail. I'm gonna say that one was also biffing the clip because there was like no need at all to charge back that sentry. He could have totally avoided it, but he went for it anyway. So that's gonna be biffs the clip. And then, so it was biffs the clip and it was also... What was the other one that I just called out? Oh yeah, chargeback fail as well. Got a bingo another way, nice. Need 10 more boxes to black out. Damn, okay, ooped. Alright, chargeback fail. Do I have that? I do. And do I have biffs the clip? I do not. Sad. My bingo card is not looking super hot right now. Yeah, see, that's biffs the clip right there, because these are the enemies the chargeback was going to hit, and he just totally did that just for fun's sake. And missed both of them. Yeah, like there again, you start one of your things on the Maurice. Nice. Okay. I won't give instant corkscrew blow there because that was definitely a pretty good play. About 25 damage. Sentries don't help me. I gotta rectify that because I tend to bend my gameplay around them, hide behind walls, kill them first. Not recommended. Considered the highest priority, I guess. I don't know. Sentries aren't the highest priority. You definitely don't want to let them control your gameplay too much. Hold on, let me see that sentry interaction again. Yeah. I would say that was definitely a virtue one-shot fail. So add that to the list. At least for what he was going for, he had the perfect weapon for it, and he just didn't pull it off. So I don't have it. I have nothing. There's nothing good that I have. My life sucks. Nice. Oof. That was an idle break fail. Iconoclasm fail. If you have iconoclasm fail, mark that down. I don't have that either. Damn, my life sucks, bro. Why is this song showing at the bottom left of the screen? I think it's a mod. I don't know. I wouldn't say any party issue if there aren't uncommon specials and you're going for the races because that's what I call pinata play. Yeah. Got another bingo. Nice. Alright, he missed his coin there. Oh, okay. He didn't shoot, he did hit his coin there. Ah, you keep trying to go for the core gems. I like it though. I'm glad you're going for it. Yeah, here you have your rail cannon up, but you're not using it. Oof. Yeah, you took a very unnecessary risk here. If you had put a screwdriver in either of those gutter tanks, you would have been fine. So, like, I guess I'll just go back here. This pillar is really good cover against most of the other map, or most of the other half of the map. That's what makes like playing here or like over here like pretty strong. Is like this Maurice can't see you if you're sitting over here, right? And if you shoot a screwdriver into one of these two gutter tanks, you can be over here, and even despite taking hits from the gutter tanks, you're fine, right? You're making the sacrifice so that you can get more value from your screwdriver and avoid line of sight from these sentries and from that Maurice. You know what I mean? So I would say try to play into the strengths of the map over trying to get kills fast or like trying to dodge. You know what I mean? Cover is always going to be your best friend. So that's just a slight suggestion. Because like this whole time you haven't used your screwdriver. Nice. Alright, okay, he used it. You're having a rough time. I think you're just getting juggled a lot by or you're scared of the Radiant Cerberus at the very least. I think one thing that will help fix that, and let me just go verify. You try to use oil, but you definitely fail. Okay, so one big hole in your strategy, I think. Like, you like conduction, but conduction is not very much without using the fire starter oil. And I think this is, yeah, the next wave you're going to die on. If you put any oil in the center of the map, just pay attention to how frequently these enemies are crossing the center of the map. Look how many are in the center. Right there. And yet again, right there. Right there. Imagine how much fire starter value you would have gotten from playing over there and over here and over there and over here. And like playing these corners. You would have gotten so much. I would say, I wouldn't say random guess. I mean, he was trying to spray these guys. Flashing at low style. Maybe, yeah. Write them one down. Again, if you guys have any ideas for different spaces, make sure you write them down. But you know, Screwdriver's putting in the work. It kept you above A rank for a long ass time. This is the wave that you die. Nice. Virtue one shot. Okay, you didn't quite get that one. I'm surprised you die here, man. Oh damn, you just didn't get the nails. Ah, that's just really unlucky. Is that a PB? Out of curiosity. Where is it? I think it's right here. Oh no, that was a new one. Yeah, this one's a new one. I guess we're probably gonna see what your PP is here, right? 61. I forgot. Yeah, your starting wave was 30. The mic is really loud. Okay, I'll turn it down. I'll unplug and plug it back in. Some randomly boost. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so from the top, what are your main issues? Conduction's really good, but you don't really get much conduction value without your fire starter oil. Try to use your oil a lot more frequently, especially if you can pay more attention to, excuse me, how you're kiting enemies. You want to kite them into the oil. That will secure a lot of kills and give you a lot more style, deal a lot more damage, and it's very infrequent. So like the mic gain is really high. You can hear the fan in the background. Yeah, again, I'll fix this again. Oh, so yeah, it was conduction fail at the end. Thank you very much. Failed conduction. If you have failed conduction, mark that down. I do. Yeah, you gotta get a card. Let's see. No, it was not. I mean, it was called, but not in this current bingo. Well, yeah. Okay, so from the top, what would I suggest? Yes, it is on. Definitely focus on enemy priority when it comes to Death Stars. Don't try to spread it around randomly. Pay attention to the fact that the difficult enemies spawn in first, and you can capitalize upon that. Second of all, definitely incorporate the fire starter more into your strategy. You do kite enemies a lot, and you can exacerbate the value of that by using more fire starter oil. This was good, what you were trying to do here, but the map can be covered a lot more. Another thing, something that like some players do when it comes to, god damn it, I hate this stupid. What some players are doing nowadays when it comes to combining like fire starter oil with Death Stars is they do this. Right? That way by the time they do their thing, you know, and some people do it better than I do. Like that was a really crap job. but you can get a lot of oil to come onto the level. You get the basic idea, right? Because you can shoot rockets while firing oil. You can get that value while you're setting up the Death Star. So try that. Try to incorporate that in your playstyle. That's like a bit of tech that can probably help you out. I'd say your neuron activators were pretty good. Only other thing is maybe like, you know, picking the right enemies. Like when you picked the Maurice for the neuron activator, that definitely didn't help your case. You wanted to pick like a storage machine or a gutterman or something, you know, like that, who can stay on the ground and can be susceptible to your saw traps and stuff like that. But yeah, aside from anything that I mentioned that was small during the recording, that's pretty much it. Practice your execution. You're practicing your core jams and your Death Stars, and I like that a lot, so keep it up. Alright. I do this and it really starts to get difficult to do 3 or 4 unless you send us as much of the air to preemptively set up. Yeah. Some people get really good at that too. Not me though. I'm terrible at it. All right, we're gonna at least do equinoxes here. I'm getting a bit tired, but I'm gonna try to push it out to. Oh god, this is 23 minutes, 26 minutes. Okay. Long ass stream. Technically, yeah, it is just pumping as you blast away, but it's basically an alternative to pumping during hit stop. I never risk towards machine or start bribe melee. Would be a waste of coins. In fact, I coin punch them from a distance. Yeah, I mean, at least with Cerberus, you definitely want to coin punch them from a distance. All right. Equinox, let's see what you had to say. No copyright. I kind of forgot what I did. Penguin, I'm being reviewed. You're being reviewed. Improvement. Any recommendations on the low density waves and fighting only specials? Over almost 600 hours. No mic, no mods, no anonymity. Channel has the run. Jackalite. Jack stars are dead. Jack stars are cool. Death stars are cool. Check out the channel. Oh shit. Got nothing, bruh. Yeah, this is Equinox from the Discord. Equinox is a OG. So yeah. Hello, Colin the Shot. I like your name. That's actually really cool. We're just playing some Cybergrind bingo. Want to participate? Got the bingo cards. You can join through the Discord in the link in the description. Get yourself a bingo card in the bingo card channel. All right. Let's continue. All my runs are unlisted because I need to finish the P-Burst video. Yeah. A massive sinner? Okay, well, we'll see. Oof. Is that a Virtue one-shot fail right off rip? I see we're using the sawed-on shotgun. Ooh, okay. Melee P-boost. Oh, and a Slarp coin combo. You spoil me. Nice. What's a P-burst? It's using shotgun projectiles during a... Sorry. While using this LARP to burst the projectile into a red explosion. Nice, really delicious. So value. You're running ADD as well. That right there is a failed conduction. I think we already have that called though. Yeah, or failed chargeback rather. Hold on, was that 2 failed rocket mounts? That's 1. Nah, never mind. Oh, that's 2. Oh, okay. I'm glad you showed up on my screen. That's 2 quick mount fails. That's quick mount 2x in a row. There it is. Awesome. If you have fails quick mount 2x in a row, make sure you mark that down. End of the bingo, nice. Ooh, was that intentional? Just want to check that real quick. Yeah, that was definitely intentional. Nice. Yeah, so you didn't fall for the noob trap here. That is the difference between a intermediate and beginner player. I would say advanced, honestly. Damn. Scrumptious combo right there. Both new traps back to back, yeah. Failed cannonball dunk? How far back are we going for this? Okay, yeah, that was a failed cannonball dunk. Yep, mark that down if you have it. And I don't believe I do. So Equinox, how does it feel using the sawed-on shotgun more frequently? Ah, you're doing the thing! Look at that. And look at that, you did it perfectly. The oil landed back. Side hopping is good. Yeah, I also deliberately ground slam off the map, just, you know, to put some space between me and some enemies. Damn, how do you play with screen shake on Equinox? You baffle me. You still use arm shot? Dude. You're evil. Nice. Jesus. The screen shake is so aggressive. Yeah, that was pretty clinical, honestly, I will say. Used a lot of coins when you were up against the mind flayers because they were grouping up on you, and you know, hitting split coins with the default revolver is very powerful against mind flayers when you isolate them. Oh, wow. This sucks. Ooh, nice. Got the parry, though. That was clutch. Oh, delicious one-shot. Also, just try to hit your coin with a rocket. Nice. Wait, you missed coins twice in a row? Do you know what wave that was on? You know, I'll just take your word for it. So, if you have that, misses coins twice in a row. Where's that? Misses coins 2x in a row. If you have that, make sure you put that down. I have that. Me personally. PB is actually 92 now? Hell yeah. You start on wave, what's it called? Wave evil now. Why is it evil? It's just like, you know, if your PB is 90, it's just like, you know, that's the wall right there. It means you just got to barely the edge of the wall. Because of low density waves. Distractionist, yep, that is a screwdriver. Big screwdriver value. Oh my god, dude, I can't tell what's going on with the screen shake. Oof. Very patient. Respect it a lot. I don't even know what just destroyed your rocket. Very, very patient there. Ah, unlucky. Nice, melee P boost for the win. At least he has blood off, yeah. Nice. Oh, this is an easy wave. Yeah, it's such a silly wave whenever you get to like the 50s and then like 4 idols spawn. Nice. Yeah, I'm really trying to look out for these low density waves because that seems to be, from what you're telling me, your biggest issue. Rough. Yeah, another one of these waves where it's just a bunch of idols and then like enemies that just don't do anything. Though that stalker is kind of annoying. Beautiful. Once I got to start away with those 3 items and 3 virtues, yeah, that sucks. Oh, bye, ooped. Oh no, goodbye, Tuffalicious, sorry. The ooped is the stayer. Yeah, no immense sins. I'm not noticing many. Pause when? Oof. Delicious conduction. Oh god. Yeah, you're hesitating like crazy right now. That you are saved by the bell. Holy, saved by the bell. How did that screwdriver miss? What? Is that, do we not have Mrs. Rail Cannon yet? Okay, no, we do. Okay, I was about to say. Nice. Charge back. Yeah, your stealth tanks so hard. Was it sub A rank? Let's go back. Yep, it was sub A rank. Do we have that? Alright, sub A rank. I have that. Oh. There we are. Back to where we were. Ooh, the chain conduction too. Just for the extra salt on the wound. Well, yeah, you're probably nodding. You know, you already know. Pause's Cybergrind run is on here. Let's see, do we have that? No, I do not. Nice. Amazing conduction value. I'm starting to anticipate something. I'm gonna call it that when you get to a low density wave, the thing you're gonna need is FUPs. FUPs. I feel like that's gonna be the thing you need. Oh. God, I just love seeing melee P boosts. Yeah, I was about to say. Oh my god, you have your own activator on, I can hear it. I love you, Rising Shepherd tone. What is considered a low density wave? When you don't have a lot of enemies like fodder or like Gutterman or Maurices that spawn or swords machines, and instead you just get like idols or virtues, sentries, mind flayers, insurrectionists, like just a bunch of difficult enemies as opposed to that. Yeah, what Equinox just put? Great example. Proclite beatboxing was unfortunately not on my bingo card. Equinox uses the pump charge shotgun. Equinox has told me, at least, that he really doesn't like the pump charge variants. Nice. Yeah, you, honestly, virtues are not your problem, from what I can see. I mean, like, obviously that one wave was definitely really sucky. I think you just were overwhelmed. But, like, when you're in a flow state, virtues are just not an issue at all for you. You know your one-shot combos, you don't have a problem with that. I feel like it's gonna be insurrectionists that are your undoing. I haven't seen you fight many insurrectionists, at least, is all I'm gonna say. Speak of the devil. Oof. Okay, you're having a rough time. Yeah. Oof, yeah, that was a last-ditch effort right there. Yeah, you're ignoring the insert. That's fair. You haven't used your rail cannon yet, and that is definitely a big issue. Definitely want to screwdriver this guy. Also not bad. I think he killed him. Yeah. Yeah, so I am anticipating that insurrectionists are going to be your worst nightmare. Yeah. Yes on the rail coins. Nice. Thinking of doing one of those Pro-Siafa gaming, no bosses, all damage vids. If you want, yeah. That sounds cool. Not quite my cup of tea, but, you know. There's something for anyone out there. Yeah, no hitting bosses is definitely not easy. Oh my god, the screen shake. Yeah, it seems like you... Oh, nice. You definitely have an over-reliance on conduction against the insurrectionists. Like, passive damage, as opposed to, like, direct damage. Just something I'm noticing. The only, like, way that you directly hurt them is with your Death Stars, or your double hammer boosts. Or, like, if you use them as, like, your conduction procer. Hold on, let's see. Did you get a chord break there? No, you just kept spamming the button. Yeah, everything is shaking. Yeah, I know. Equinox plays was like, I don't even know, is that like 20% screen shake? Because this is absurd. I could never play like that. Safe play. Default screen shake on? You should reduce it. I think it would become a changer of lives. I heard that. I heard that. That is a jumpstart chord snap. Do we have that? I have that. All right, jumpstart chord snap. If you have that, make sure you mark that down. Also, this is, yeah, okay, I can delete this tab. Yeah, you're ignoring the insert again, which is not a bad play, but it's the most passive play you can make. Yeah, and then the tail is true once again. Yeah, the insert's not really a threat to you right now, so I'm not too surprised you're ignoring him. I think you did miss. Yeah, you missed your screwdriver, sadly. Nice melee P boost. Yeah, you really do have a severe lack of, like, direct insurrectionist damage. I didn't see you pull out the cannonball at all, either. If I were you, I'd definitely use the cannonball there. This is why me practicing answers in Sandbox got a new PB? Yeah. Tends to happen. I honestly should practice insurrectionist parries in the Sandbox too. Your defensive screwdriver hitbox is ridiculously tiny. I also hope they change that. I eventually want to make a video about that. It's so dumb how the two other rail cannons that take little to no skill to use for most of their tech are so easy to hit with. But the one thing that's a projectile and has the slimmest hitbox and arguably has the most like skill and like macro application is like like the hardest thing in the game to hit, just for like stupid reasons. Like it is so easy to hit a core with a malicious rail cannon. It's so easy to hit like a bunch of enemies with the E-rail. Granted, rail coin combos are difficult, but you know. Yeah, this is definitely one of those times we would probably want to do a Cybergrind win bingo. Not saying the Sandbox does not, but like the hands-on experience will get you further. Yeah. For me though, I mean, I've fought so many like Radsers, I just never take the opportunity to parry them unless I'm like directly in front of them. Then it's like 50-50 chance I do. But like most of the time I'm just brute force being aggressive. And like Equinox knows, my playstyle is like not reactive in the slightest. My playstyle is for the most part extremely proactive and aggressive. So it's like, you know, for win boxes, yeah, definitely do that. No, post it in the Cybergrind bingo chat. I want to see some discourse about that. Oh, that is dumb. Okay, there you go. And we're back. My game plays with a lot of reacting. Yeah, unlike myself. Oof, you're having it rough. Nice. Probably make us for turbo reacting by doing a good macro play. Yeah, macro is definitely how I would say it. It's just always knowing where to position myself on the map and when to play aggro. I'm not perfect. Some maps still get me, but for the most part. Like a map like Hall, I have like very little issues playing on a map like Hall. Whereas like an in Raconta or whatever, however you pronounce their name. Okay, this is the low density wave here. You need that Gutterman? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're out of blue saws. That right there is when it would be really nice to have the saw, what's it called? Ah, that's just really unlucky. The fact that the ferryman leapt at you and like prematurely broke your chain, that's just so unlucky. And then I just put you in this position where you look stupid with your jackhammer. That's just hyper unlucky. Yeah, this wave is low-key very fucked, yeah. Yeah, well, okay. I think that you definitely could have benefited a lot. And look. I know I'm gonna sound like a hyper glazer right now, but in a moment like that, Neuron Activator would have been so good for you. Like just having extra saws. There were multiple points during this wave where you tried to use your blue saws and you couldn't because you didn't have any left. Yeah, because look, you're out of blue saws, right? How many times do you pull out the blue weapon? That's one, and you only pop out 2 saws, none of them give you value. That's 2, you pop out 1 saw, it doesn't give you value. You know what I mean? Low density waves are the best possible ways for the Neuron Activator to pop off because you get to use this a lot more frequently. Your silver saws, I'm not your silver saws, just your regular saws. Yeah, I like your music too, Equinox. But Neuron Activator saves your ass a lot there. Because now, when you're running the jump start, the jump nail I mean, you have to rely on killing the enemy as opposed to proccing it early. You know what I mean? And especially on low density waves, when all the enemies you're fighting against are all extremely high health targets, you often can't rely on that. And like here, you use your screwdriver early, or whatever your rail cannon was. Honestly, I think here probably your downfall might have just been not using your rail cannon because you were too locked in. Yeah, you didn't use your rail cannon at all that whole time. Just a small nitpick thing. You were doing really well on this wave, but yet again, just gonna glaze Neuron Activator ADA. It's so good on these low density waves. It struggles a lot on virtues, but there were no virtues here, obviously. And then you have jackhammers for that. You've got the sawed-on shotgun for that. You know your combos with those, so I'm just saying, Neuron Activator might be the thing for you. Other than that, though, don't really have much to criticize on. I think, like, yeah, a lot of it really is moments like these where you do panic and you try to go for a conduction, right? And you can't. Like, you just used one of your 2 lifelines here, one of your, like, med kits, basically. Just the Gutterman shield breaks. And desperate for style and desperate for, like, conduction damage, you just can't get it off. Yeah, And during the hit stop there would have been the perfect opportunity to use the screwdriver. It's a lot of stamina empty sound effects. Yeah, actually, let me pay attention to your stamina there. Yeah, right there, you lose all your stam. Yeah, and about here, you fully reset. Like, this is your time. And that obviously sets in some panic. But here, mostly reset again. Just don't take damage. And then, well, this is just unfortunate. You try to do a quick mount. You slide. I think you slide on the oil is probably what happened there. Something happens. Maybe he gets in your way. You just get stopped from doing your rocket ride. That's unfortunate. This is unfortunate too, whipping onto him and him sucking into you. And then the Mind Flayer there, you know, hard to react to. All of the moments in the last like 5 seconds of this are just completely unfortunate. But yet again, the macro of understanding, I have my screwdriver. I can use it in this Mind Flayer. There's very few enemies here. I'm SSS. I can get up to ULTRAKILL style extremely fast. You got the parry off, right? Right here. That was the clutch decision. You could have screwdrivered during this too. And this might sound like nitpicking, but yet again, you know, like, this is just why the screwdriver is so unbelievably strong during moments of low density waves. And here, what was the rail cannon you used in the beginning here? I'm curious. Was it E-rail? Okay, it was E-rail. And I think, yeah, you double stacked your conduction too, is definitely a mistake you made. Because, like, yeah, you come close enough so that your conduction will pop, and then you try to pop your jumpstart, and then you also use the E-rail. So I think at the end of the day, this wave was just like, you pressed a lot of panic buttons. You have this. I don't have much to criticize upon. The stuff that I'm like nitpicking is very small, because you know your Virtue one-shots. Virtues were never your problem during this run. Inserts were kind of your problem because, again, you were relying on blue saws to pop off your conduction, and they were in a lot of positions where you couldn't get it off. Instead of, you know, relying on like something like ADA, which is a lot better at dealing with insurrectionists for conduction. Always hit the rail cannon instead of screw. Yeah. I mean, I personally probably would have screwdrivered here. ADA. So when I say ADA, that means alternate default alternate. It's like a way that a lot of like advanced and intermediate Cybergrind players, or like just like you know, speedrunner, high level gameplay, how they communicate. So like for instance here, basically ADA, or like basically like alternate meaning A, default meaning D. If I were to classify my revolvers, it would be ADD because it's alternate default default, right? As you can see. So when I say ADA, I'm specifically talking about this, which is alternate default alternate. This is what I run for the nail gun loadout. Personally, I'm very biased about this stuff. Yeah, I was trying it out earlier today, just for funsies. Because I know that the default marksman's very good against groups of Mind Flayers. Because, like, if you spam coins, you can get easily 32 damage. You know, do either with coin punch and then split coin, or just doing like 4 split coins in a row. You can get easily like, you know, 32 damage because they have heads, and you can do that instead of focusing on like trying to get jackhammer hits or P boosts while they're like, you know, teleporting around you, because these will hit you or hit them without discriminating against the fact that they're teleporting. I've used demark all my life. Yeah, I'm trying it out just now. Coin punches with the slaps too. Absolutely, yeah. So that's why I'm surprised that, like, you know, you struggled so much with Mind Flayers, because you weren't doing it very much earlier. I think insurrectionists are your Achilles heel, because like every time I've seen you fight an insurrectionist, you've had a lot of problems. You didn't even use the cannonball here, did you? Let's see that. Because like in the last like 2 encounters with insurrectionists, you didn't use a cannonball. You didn't use it here either, which would have easily simplified getting the conduction pop off if you did. Instead, you panicked. Yeah, and then you were low in style, you were low in healing. Yeah, I think that's another thing. You definitely neglect using the cannonballs. Yeah, I would say that's like, if you're gonna have a takeaway from this like at all, that's like #1 suggestion. It's going to be use cannonballs on inserts. Like, you can make everything work with the loadout you have. I like the little nitpicks I was making was, again, like nitpicks. But the number one problem that I think you have is that you don't use the cannonball on insurrectionists. It's so good for conduction. It's so good for getting, not only if you get a dunk and they're on fire, that's 12 times 1.5, that's 18 damage on them. Huge damage in less than like 3 frames. You know what I mean? Don't even use Piercer? Don't care about Piercer. Who cares about Piercer? Or you can do it for some cool combos, but like, you know. And you don't even need pump charge. They're superfluous. They're just like, you know, good single target, good group target. You know, that's just the pump charge. It's not spectacular or anything. It's just jack of all trades. But Cannonball, on the other hand, is sometimes the best thing you can pull out over every other weapon in the game. Because, again, it's a frame 1 use. And, you know, like, if you charge it up just a quarter, which I think is like 0.2 seconds, yeah, then like you can get some really good velocity on it too. But yeah, definitely use the cannonball. That's my number 1 suggestion. That was a fun watch though. I really liked that. Let me just quickly react to the people who I reviewed. Well, the good news is you didn't really make many Cybergrind sin mistakes. You have a submission recently. Nice. I do want to ask, hold on. Okay, my laptop is gonna die soon, so I have to get the charger for it. But is Oopt still here? Can you ping me in the run that you want reviewed? I may or may not review it now. I'm just thinking, like, because if it's really long, then I definitely want to save it for like the beginning of another stream. But you know, if it's not that long, then I might do it now. We'll see. Whatever happens, you're the first to get reviewed in any of my next streams because you did donate. Is it feature length film? Okay, I'm not doing that right now. I'm too tired for that. I'll review your thing next stream. Hopefully, I guess you can just, you know, call out whenever you would want yours reviewed. So if you want yours reviewed on a point that you're here, we can do that. Point being, you just get priority over everyone else when the chance comes. So we can call that by ear. Yeah, ping me. Also, Quint hit stop. Actually, let me see this. I want to see the Quint hit stop. Jesus Christ. Uh, 2755. All right, let's see this. Bro, son, what is this? You didn't even prime your jackhammer, bro. Oh. And then you missed your core nuke. Oh, see, this is what I like to call pimple popping. That was delicious. That was scrumptious. Yeah, man, dude, when you go to these high waves, your runs go over an hour long easy. Robust just now. It's so good. Dude, how do you not see what I see? It's all over the screen. Yeah, it really is. That was so good. Okay, hold on. I got a triple parry and raise projectiles using chainsaw. It's so good. Real quick, I am going to go get my charger. I will be right back. Fraternize amongst each other. I saw him hopped on your stream. Good. Criticizing what they're doing. Give me another row. So surprised you didn't know that already. All right, I'm back. Let me plug in my laptop. Here, calling the shot. Are you still here? Lucky cream to Everyone's my first time catching the stream live. Hello, peanut butter smoothie. That actually sounds delicious. Colin, you have a submission, right? If you want me to review that, I can do that now. Assuming it's, you know, not 30 minutes plus. It's kind of bad. I don't care. Yeah, you put it there to be criticized, I will deliver. All right. Can you ping me where it is? Ping me in your thing. So about my runner-up. Oh shit! You recorded your PB. Awesome. I will review this Equinox for sure at some point. There it is. Okay. How long? 13 minutes? All right, we'll do this one. This will be the last one we do. And then I'll end stream. I think just before we review it though, for those who are joining now, if you want to play the final game of bingo with us, you can grab a card in the Cybergrind bingo channel of the Discord server. Oh, damn. Oh my god, oops, you're so close. Oh, also, hi, Underwriter. But yeah, if you guys want to play bingo, just make sure you grab the card from the pinned message here and slap the shit into your browser and play along with us. I will quickly just hold this up for those who want to see it. What if I click here? Nope, that's not what I want to click on. Here. I bet that's tiny. But hey, at least you can see everything. Oh, that's too tiny. If you guys want to copy everything down. Yeah, do you win anything? Yeah, you get the P rank roll. It's a yellow roll. I think Ender Rider is the first person to have it currently. Yeah, it's if the gutter tank punches you. Hold on. There we go. I think there was one before this bingo run. I just didn't call it, but we'll see. I have bingo if forgets rogue cannon 2x. Nice. I believe Brocco said you should do insers. Huh? Oh yeah, during special waves with insers and flares, which one should I screwdriver? Definitely, most of the time insers, yeah. But sometimes flares, depends on the circumstance. I mute stream and do homework. Just let me know if those two. Yep, okay. I want you guys to spam ping ooped if we get gutter tank punched and extremely high altitude in the Discord server. Not spam ping, but you know, each of you ping once at least. All right, assuming you guys who've just gotten bingo cards are all caught up, we will continue. I'll give you guys just another like 30 seconds to catch up. These are better since they can't move if you screw them, but insers can still jump around and strip you of that healing. I personally don't recommend flares because the higher you go, the more they're likely to die from other sources. If you pin them, they're literally just a sitting duck. So like Maurice will laser them down, and like Gutterman will laser them down, and I don't know. It's just not worth it in my opinion to do it. I mean, it is decent to do on a flare. Always do it on a flare if a flare shows up, but on an insurrectionist, just make them a style battery because they can't die to friendly fire. I'm very racist toward. That's totally fair. I can't blame you at all. Yeah, plus the 1.5x fire damage. All right, we will start watching. All right, scooped. All right. Hold up. Was that a gutter tank punch right off rip? Nope, he slipped. Ah. Ooh, okay. Triple jackhammer. Actually, wait, I didn't even read your messages. Let me do that. Dramatic title, extremely washed gameplay. I haven't played ULTRAKILL Cybergrind in maybe 2 months. It's fine. How'd you like to improve? I'm thinking of using nail gun for conduction instead of rail cannon like I used to. The rail cannon charge instead would be spent for either one-shotting virtues or drill in general, but I keep forgetting. Probably just a matter of developing habit. 600 hours, awesome. No mic, no mods. Would you like to be anonymous in the video? Doesn't matter much. Or your jackhammer acolyte. The green jackhammer is really handy for things I like, and I agree in totality. So yeah, what's your nail gun loadout? Nice. That's a male mind flare. Did you hit a core with that, or was that an interruption? That was an interruption, okay. Yeah, it's the most IDFK. Or IDGAF, rather. I still can't tell. I haven't been paying attention, at least. Oh my, wow. Oof. Okay, so it's ADD, same as Equinox. Oof, okay. Yeah, small consideration here. People who put their oil into the sky, they usually don't want to spread their oil around a lot like that because a lot of the oil will just end up on the floor. I mean, a lot of the oil that would just end up on the floor just falls off the map. I'm going to have to give random gasoline for that reason. Yeah, so random gasoline. If you have that, mark that down. And I do not. Very sad. Yeah, because a lot of that oil is just going to end up falling off of the map, unfortunately. Yeah, Gutterman can punch pretty fast. Ooh, okay, okay. Using my Virtue one-shot. Love it. Awesome. You don't know how happy it makes me seeing my own Virtue one-shot featured in Cybergrind gameplay. It makes me very, very happy. Nice. Ooh, okay. Bruh. This person was saying that their gameplay was buns. That was awesome. Oof. Nice. I like that. I like that instead of dashing out of a hit stop backblast, you slammed instead. I like that. Nice. Conduction chain. Oof. Okay, the hesitation there. Yeah, I think you should definitely use E-rail in a time like that for just straight damage. The hesitation was a bit funky because screwdriver on a swords machine will usually go wasted because they die so fast, like from fire on the floor or like Maurice's melting them down. So try to avoid using screwdrivers on swords machines in general. They're also small targets, so you can easily miss unless they clump up, in which case they're often going to die. Okay. That right there is biffing the clip. That is a classic case. Okay, we already have biff the clip. Very funny, but son. Why do I feel like I've already seen this before? I've seen another player do that. Nice, the slip. Damn. Avoiding gutter tanks like the plague. I don't think Oopt is gonna get a blackout. Delicious screwdriver value. You're basically immortal. Oof. That right there is Mrs. Rail Cannon. I think he was trying to actually, I think that counts as an iconoclasm fit. We already have that. And we already have Mrs. Rail Cannon. Okay, yeah. Because I think he was trying to use the jackhammer. Yeah, he was trying to use the jackhammer on it. He messed it up. Damn. Avoiding gutter tanks like the frickin' plague. No, I wouldn't say so. Trying to suck him into the thing. Oh, hall. I mean entrance. Okay, not starting in the middle. Smart. Ooh, instant corkscrew blow. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see. Do we have instant corkscrew blow? We do not. Instant corkscrew blow. I definitely don't think that was the right play there. I don't have it. Oop, that's my video. Let me go back for a sec. Just want to see something. Okay. Yeah, that's not extremely high altitude. Yeah, I think your PB is 70, right? Or no, it's 60 something. Or not, yeah, 60 something. Big conduction. Just barely not high enough altitude. Insert intercepted rocket? Oh yeah, you're right. Holy shit, you guys are correct. Enemy body intercepts ridden rocket. We count that. Enemy body intercepts ridden rocket. Oh my god. I'm so close. Oh my god, dude. Son. Yeah, I was about to say, just kill him, bruh. Nice, the double idle break. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Avoiding gutter tanks like the plague, man. Ooh, that's a gutter tank punch. That's a gutter tank punch. We may see it yet. This is hype. Ooft is one thing away right now. And failed dunk? I think, yeah, that was a failed dunk. We already have that, though. Failed dunk is already on there. Yeah, my man is farming biffs the clip. Holy. Just go for the E-rail. Yep. Big conduction, big payoff. Oof. Definitely don't want to be playing... Oh, that was cool. Yeah, okay, yeah. Ooh, you're scaring me. Okay, big suggestion. This seems to be the suggestion of the day. You do not want to be playing below a Maurice like that, especially one that's like... Yeah, because that'll happen to you. This guy is just going to be getting free damage on you at all times. And when you go into this corridor, same deal. He literally is just going to beam you down. And he's doing it right now. Completely unpunished. Almost did it again, but... You know, fortunately, you do realize he's the last enemy, but you don't want to get into that position. Holy. Yeah, look at that. Are we really gonna call the jump nail spectacular if that's what you use it for? That's not a criticism against you, Colin, but like against the weapon itself. Because like, how else are you supposed to use a weapon? You know what I mean? Son, you were farming biffs the clip. Oh my god. I'm not trying to call you bad. It's really funny. Because I do the same shit from time to time. It's just 4 times in one run is really funny. Yeah, definitely giving washed. Not bad. You're very good. It's just washed is the correct term. Oh, you got pancakes. That is so lucky. Oh! Wait, I think I saw this already. Yeah, I remember seeing this. That looked extremely familiar. Alright, this is Hall. Getting straight out of there. Are we gonna count that? We'll see. We'll hold that on the back burner as extremely high altitude. I think that's EHA because it's on my card. What do you mean? What does EHA mean? Extreme high altitude, because it's on my card, yeah. I'll say it is if we don't get anything else to the end. Missed rail cannon insta-kill? Was that like just here? Because I know... Yeah, against the Ratu, right? Okay, so is that a... No, okay, we already have the insta-kill on there, so... Right on back. And our player here isn't really doing too much high altitude stuff. That saw trap left the map. Yeah, let me pay attention to this saw trap here. Well, actually, let me see this. No, that's fine. That saw trap is fine. Okay, wait. I wouldn't say it's a bad saw trap. That's just like very unlucky that one of the magnets hit the bounce pad and jumped off. Should there be one for extremely far off horizontally? I don't think so. I don't think that's like a sin most people do. You know what I mean? No one intentionally does that. Creature of zinc. Okay, interesting. Interesting placement. Oh, I remember watching. Yeah, we've seen this before. For us not being good luck getting back on the map, man. Yeah, I remember this run. Yeah. All right, I'll count it. I'll count the, you know, the high altitude. I'll count it. But that is unfortunately going to be the final thing that we do. Someone let's the hideous mass speared him to death. But someone ping ooped. Tell him, hey, he got it. Ooh, okay, son. This is extremely unfortunate. Damn. This was a crazy run. No one got anything. Let's fucking go. It was a good run. Yeah, we did. Damn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at this. Cybergrind wins. Yeah, Cybergrind sins versus Cybergrind wins is definitely something I will end up doing. Sins, and then I'll set up like another thing with wins probably. Hold on. I don't know why it just did that. Wins. I'll make that at some point. Does Jackhammer even launch enemies away? I don't remember. It does. It does launch enemies away. Yeah. So like, here. Spawn a sentry. See? Launches enemies away. And now I'm playing the game. Uh-oh. Just kidding. Never even worried. Thank you, Maurices, for being yourselves. Assuming the altitude, top 10 good players. Delicious pump cash. The most delicious of all time. This will be my one run that I do, and then I'm gonna call it. Ooh, double rad shoe kill. That was probably the cleanest execution I've ever had. Are you guys doing sins right now for me? Bad saw trap. Lol. All 3 jackhammers on cooldown. Lol. Biffs the clip. And that, my friends, is how you kill an insert with Neuron Activator. See what I do there? Like when that hideous mass spawns, I go behind it, right? Because I know that there's Maurices there, and if I go behind it, the Maurice is just gonna light it up. Holy shit. I totally just got lobotomized in that one instance there. starting to turtle. My neck hurts. Off-screen parry. And I missed Roll Cannon. You guys are going to say something about it. Oh. I just got sniped. I just got sniped by a mannequin projectile. Damn. I'm gonna go one more time. One more run. I was feeling myself there. Oh, goodbye. It's been fun. Yep. One more time. Because I missed the guard break on that Gutterman and he sent me flying. Oh, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I did it, and at what cost? Failed Gutterman break. I already see it coming. My poor eyes. Holy FOV. Stun. I looked away for 1 second. Alright, well, I'm too tired anyway. I don't know what I was thinking, but that was fun. Alright. Hero Brian? What the? Heroin. He's trying to. Are you trying to say heroin? Wait, you got bingo? When did you get bingo? Did you post it? You have a ping it? I don't see a bingo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bingo. Awesome. Yeah, they give you the roll. Congrats on the bingo. Yeah, I see it. Alright, well, can we get a chat for win ideas? Just post it here. I don't really care. Oh, yeah, look at that. You got a thread. You can just post it in the thread. Can I pin this? I can't. I can't pin this. Oh, well. If you want to access it, go right there. Post all your shit. Dude. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna be closing out stream now. Hope you guys had fun playing bingo today. Thank you everyone who did donate today. Much appreciated as always. And I hope all of you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys probably on Wednesday. Probably the next day I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be busy tomorrow. And as you guys know, video day is Tuesday, so I'm going to be making a video then. Yes, of course. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.